Amy, but you can call me Geeky McFangirl. Welcome to my channel and thanks so much for joining me for a Harry Potter inspired craft. Today I'm going to show you how to use polymer clay to make a Harry Potter wand pen.
You can find links for all the materials you will need for this project in the description below the video, both on YouTube and at craftymcfangirl.com. Before we get started, I wanted to let you know you can support me for $1 a month on Patreon. I put a link in the description box below. It's important to use big round stick pins for this project. It has been proven that they can survive a trip through the oven at a low heat. Use a plier tool to remove the ink cartridge from the front of the pen. The ink will not survive a trip through the oven. Find a picture of Harry Potter's wand online and use it as a reference as you sculpt the clay. Your wand pen will end up being much shorter and wider than Harry's real wand. Think of it as a cartoon version. Create a clay log and roll it out vertically and horizontally until it will wrap around the pen barrel. It's important to pick up and flip the rolled out clay often so that it doesn't stick to the mat. Place the pen barrel on the rolled out clay and smooth it around. If, like me, your piece does not reach all the way around, you can always patch it up with another small piece of clay rolled out. Smooth the clay over the top end, but avoid the tip of the pen. Create a small, flat, and somewhat irregular shaped patch of clay. It should be large enough to wrap around the top portion of the pen to create the bark detail at the top of Harry's wand. Place the clay at the top end of the pen and wrap it. Smooth together the seam with your fingers or a clay tool. Then use a double-ended dotting tool to create the wooden texture on the top of the wand. Continue using the dotting tool to create the wood texture on the side of the top portion. Make sure to look at your reference photo of Harry's wand and have fun creating the wood texture with lots of lines and squiggles. The next step is to sculpt the small piece of bark sticking out below the top wooden section. I used my dotting tool to smooth the area down and then create more wood texture. Finally, I sculpted the bottom edge to give it a defined shape. The final step before baking is to smooth down the main body of the wand, remove fingerprints, and create a polished wood look. You can roll the dotting tool down the wand for short distances and at different angles. Then add a last few details to your sculpture before taking it to the oven. Bake according to the instructions on your clay package. Baking time and temperature will vary by clay brand and the size of your project. Once your wand has baked and cooled completely, it's time to paint it. I use folk art acrylic paint in burnt umber. Paint the top two wooden sections of the wand only. Leave the brown polymer clay unpainted at the bottom. I added a tiny bit of black acrylic paint to the burnt umber to create a darker brown for the very top wooden portion. If you need to touch up the second wooden portion, make sure to use the burnt umber with no black added and clean your brush in between. You can wait for the paint to dry, or like me, you can use a hairdryer or heat gun to speed up the drying process. Next, it's time to put the ink back inside the pen. You can use a small plier tool to make this easier. The final step is to give the wand a coating of Mod Podge gloss coat. I did this in 2 steps. First, I glossed the top portion and dried it using a hairdryer. Then I glossed the bottom portion, making sure not to paint over the tip of the pen. Then I dried it with a hairdryer again. You can use your pen on the same day as you varnish it, as soon as the Mod Podge is dry. You don't have to wait the full cure time for the Mod Podge, which is 28 days.
Thanks so much for crafting with me today. I hope you have fun if you make this Harry Potter wand pen. And if you liked this project and you want to see what's coming next, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you want to watch me live stream my craft projects, you can find me on Twitch. And if you want to support the channel, you can also find me on Patreon. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.